On the 17th of February, in the year 1600, a man was led into the Campo de' Fiori in Rome. His tongue was nailed to a wooden stake, so he could not speak. They did this not because they feared his screams. They feared his words. He had already spoken enough words, 8 years of them, in prison cells, in courtrooms, in front of cardinals who offered him one thing, again and again, in different languages, with different faces. Just say, "You are wrong." He never did. Giordano Bruno was born in 1548 in a small town near Naples. He entered a Dominican monastery of 15, not out of devotion, but out of hunger. The monastery had the largest library in the region. He read everything. This was already dangerous, because the books Bruno read were not only theology, they were Copernicus, who had placed the sun at the center of the universe. They were Hermes, Trismegistus, ancient texts that whispered of a living cosmos. They were ideas the church had carefully locked away. Bruno did not lock them away, he built on them. By his 30s, he had formed a thought so large it frightened him and thrilled him in equal measure. The universe is infinite, not vast, not enormous, infinite. No center, no edge, no single sun, but countless suns, each with words circling around them, perhaps filled with beings who had never heard of Rome or its God. In 1584, he wrote it down, published it, sent it into the world. He thought the world was ready. He was wrong about that. Bruno spent 16 years moving across Europe like a man who knew he was being followed. Geneva, Paris, London, Wittenberg, Prague, Frankfurt. He taught in universities, argued with scholars, insulted people who disagreed with him, which was almost everyone. He had no patience for those who did not see what he saw. He called them blind. He called their ideas corpses. He was not an easy man to love, but he was impossible to ignore. In every city he left behind a trail of controversy and a handful of people who had heard something they could not unhear. The universe has no edge. You are not the center. Nothing is. Some found this terrifying. Bruno found it liberating. If the universe is infinite, then God cannot be small. God cannot be contained in a single book, a single church, a single truth handed down by frightened men. This was his real crime, not astronomy, not mathematics. He made God too large for the institution. In 1591, a Venetian nobleman named Giovanni Mocenigo invited Bruno to Venice. He wanted to learn Bruno's methods of memory, a technique Bruno had developed, a way of organizing the mind like a cathedral of images. Bruno accepted. It was the last free decision he ever made. After several months, Mocenigo denounced him to the Inquisition. The reasons are still debated. Jealousy, disappointment, fear, it does not matter. On the 22nd of May, 1592, Giordano Bruno was arrested. He was 53 years old. The Inquisition was not barbaric. This is important to understand. They did not simply torture and burn. They negotiated. For 8 years, some of the most powerful minds in the Catholic Church sat across from Bruno and made him an offer that grew simpler with every passing year. Recant, admit error, return to the fold. Bruno agreed to recant some things. He said certain statements had been reckless. He softened edges, chose words carefully. But there was a line he would not cross. The infinity of the universe, the plurality of words. The idea that no single institution held the entire truth of existence. These he would not surrender. The cardinals were not cruel men. They were patient men. They believed they were saving his soul. They asked again and again and again. Bruno said no. Not dramatically, not with speeches. He simply said no. On the 18th of February, 1600, the sentence was read. Bruno listened. When it was over, he looked at the man who had condemned him and said, "Perhaps you pronounce this sentence against me with greater fear than I receive it." Then they nailed his tongue to a stake and led him into the square. The fire took him on a Thursday morning. He did not scream, or if he did, no one heard. Here is what the Inquisition did not understand. They believed that burning a man would burn his ideas. It is the oldest mistake power makes. Bruno's ideas were condemned for 2 centuries after his death. His books stayed on the forbidden list until 1900, exactly 300 years after the fire. But the universe kept expanding. Other astronomers looked through other lenses and found that Bruno had imagined a cosmos with no center, filled with countless suns, ancient beyond comprehension. They did not find it because of Bruno. Bruno did not prove any of this. He intuited it, extrapolated it, believed it with a certainty that frightened even himself. But he believed it enough to die for it. And here is the question that stays. Not whether he was right, but how a person becomes that certain. How a mind decides, this is the thing. This is the one thing I will not surrender. Not for my life, not for anything. Most of us will never face a fire. But all of us will face the moment when something we believed is tested. When the world asks us, quietly or loudly, to simply say, "I was wrong. I didn't mean it. I'll be quiet now." Bruno's answer, given 8 years in a row, was the same. No. Whether that was courage or madness, perhaps only the infinite knows.